Hello Sacred Beings and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about how to discover your galactic starseed origin for free using a super easy generator that one of you recommended online. So one of you sent me an Instagram message, which I'm so sorry for all of you guys who have sent me Instagram messages because I did not know they're like hidden requests. So I had a bunch from over like 300 weeks ago that I just now responded to. So I'm very sorry. Now that I'm aware that's there, I will keep my eye on it. I just don't really use Instagram a lot, so it totally went over my head. But one of you submitted to me your birth chart with this Galactic Origin website, and I've never seen it before. I did not know you can, for free, plug in your birth date and be told what your starseed origin is. So we're going to talk about that today because the person who sent it to me wanted to know what their origin is based on the results. And it's kind of hard to understand. So I want to show you guys how to do it so you can try it out for yourself and then you can understand what it means. I also want to see if the origins you've already discovered from my previous videos, the markings that you look for in your chart, I want to see if it lines up with this free generator. And also you might discover new origins you've never heard about, which if you do, please comment below. That way I can research about them and share traits and information about them with you. But before we get started, I do want to shout out myself. If you guys want to support me and say a little thank you, you can join the membership. There's a membership button below. It's 99 cents to join, or you can hit the super thanks, which I believe is $2.99, and that just gives me a little something as a thank you, and it helps support this channel and helps me keep on making these videos. But that is totally optional. I just wanted to throw that out there for you guys, and I still do readings for you if you join the top tier membership called Sacred Ancestors. So check it all out in the join button and the super thanks button below. But without further ado, let's begin because I think I discovered something about me I did not know, and I have other research to do after this because I'm super intrigued. So let's go. This free generator, you have to go to www.galacticastrochart.com/free. So I'm going to link it below just because sometimes when I typed it in, it didn't load. So I will link it below under Galactic Chart. And I'm going to move over so that this whole space is for you guys to see my chart and how to understand yours. So go to the website. It's going to look like this. So you want to fill out all of your information like you normally would in a regular birth chart reading. And you want to hit generate. So it's going to generate your chart. And if you scroll down a little bit, you will see the galactic connections. So these are mine. This website gives you the tropical Western astrology, and that talks more about your life right now, so your most recent incarnation. I always recommend, and a lot of you have recommended as well, that you want to use your Sidereal Chart or Vedic astrology, which you can do on this, which I will show you how, but you have to manually input it. So it takes a little bit of time to manually plug in all of your degrees, but we will do that at the end of the video so that you can see the comparison, because it's a really good idea to compare this chart about your life right now and the Vedic astrology sidereal from your true higher self, because that's going to tell you like your first ever soul. That's what it's going to talk about. So I'm going to compare both of mine just to see how they differ and some similarities, because if you have the same origin in both, I always say that's a pretty good confirmation that you are from there. So right away when you hit generate, this is going to focus on your main planets. This is just your general origins. For me, it shows 3 Orions, 3 Lyra, 1 Draco, and 2 new names I have not heard about. I always said in my previous videos, it's always good to have at least 3 to confirm your origin. And right away, it giving me 3 Orion is a huge confirmation for me because, as you probably know, if you watched my videos, I believe I'm from Mintaka, which is within the Orion constellation in the Orion belt. And I did not know about Lyra, so we're going to talk about that. Draco makes sense because I've mentioned I do think I have history and similarities with reptilians, but the positive ones or the positive side of them, which I've done a video of that if you want to check it out. But from this, it's basically saying I'm an Orion Lyra hybrid. But now what you want to do is you want to see your whole chart. So you want to see all of your origins or all of your alignments, where have you visited, your favorites, and so on. So to do this, you want to click on the two boxes that say show trine sextile squares and show degrees, and then hit the generate extended report. So this, if you scroll down, you're going to have a very long report, or at least I did, which I had to break down in 3 different screenshots for you guys to fit it on the screen. So this not only gives you the constellation origin, but it also gives you the exact star system, the exact star origin that you're from. So it kind of narrows it down further for you. But there's a lot to process here. And I really like that they color coordinate it all. So it's kind of easier for the different ones that are the same to stick out. So for example, Orion is a dark red color, and right away I can easily count just by looking at Orion and color. I have 9 markings for Orion. 4 of them are Mintaka, which I thought was amazing and super exciting just to have that confirmation. 6 of them are Andromeda, and 6 of them are Lyra. So if you scroll down, you'll see a text where it says meaning, and this basically breaks it down for you. But I know the person who showed me this website, I tried to show them the meanings, but I thought it would be easier just to share it all with everybody here. So this is how we're going to make sense of all of this. So the first thing it says is that your Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune star system is your most ancient soul history, your soul's DNA ancestral lineage. So basically your true origin. So you want to look at those 3 planets. So Pluto, Uranus, Neptune. You'll have the planets on the left. So for example, all of mine are in Lyra. Or Lyria. I don't know the right way to say it. Lyra. Which is very interesting because that's saying that's my original origin. And then next it says you want to look at your sun, moon, and ascendant. So this is your most recent soul history or ancestral DNA. Mine are multiple different ones, which we'll talk about that. But each of the sun, moon, ascendant, all have Orion in them. So that's very interesting. It's saying my most recent incarnation is Orion, which kind of makes sense why I feel most connected to Mintaka, because I've been there most recently. So that's very interesting. So next it says if you want to know your soul's connections, so distant soul history, so places you visited or had interactions with, you maybe have once lived there, you want to look at your Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. So this is, you have had experiences there before. So for me, looking at those 5 planets, it's all over the place. So that just makes sense that I've traveled a lot in the past. My soul has been throughout the galaxies to many different places. It all resonates a lot with me. But the next thing you want to look at is your strongest soul connection. So this is where you had the most positive experiences, a positive soul connection with beings that live there. And whatever you experienced or learned in this place we're about to discover is you use it a lot in this day-to-day life. So you have similarities of the traits in this day-to-day life. The qualities from the beings that live there are very much integrated in your life here now, and a big part of your identity now. So you want to look at conjunct between a planet and star system. So for example, if you start at Mercury where the planets start, it says I have Lepus, conjunct Nahal, or Orion, which somebody called it Orion, which I have been saying it the wrong way if it's pronounced Orion, but I'm just going to keep calling it Orion, conjunct Bellatrix, Mintaka, and Alnalam, Arugia conjunct Capella. And then moving on, I have Draco conjunct Thuban and Jupiter, Lyra conjunct Vega and Uranus, and Lyra conjunct Chiliac and Neptune. So you can narrow it down, like I said before, if you have multiple origins for the same thing you're looking at, to narrow it down, you want to look at the degree. So the degree that it gives you, for example, Lyra conjunct Chiliac is 18. You want to look at your zodiac sign. What is that degree? My Capricorn is 18. So that is an exact degree. and that is one of the closest. The other degrees are 1 to 2 away, but you want to look for the exact. So Aruga conjunct Capella is 21, and my Mercury and Gemini is also 21. So if you have 2 of the same degree, then you want to subtract what the origin degree is from your zodiac degree. So for example, my Lyra conjunct Chiliac is 18, and my Capricorn is 18. But one of them is 18.25 and one of them is 18.45. So if you subtract that, it's 20. And then my other one for Mercury, for the Capella, if you subtract the degrees, 21.19 and 21.44, so you're subtracting the minutes, then it's 25. So technically the closest one would be the Lyra or Lyra, as being my strongest soul connection, where I had the most positive experiences, where I've learned the most, and the most traits that I have now in this life. But I thought it was interesting that the Capella, I Googled it and it says that they love astrology and they have brown eyes, so similarities there too. But basically, I obviously have many favorite places in the galaxy that I have had experiences at. So it's all very interesting. But if we move on to the opposites, so if you look for opposites, this indicates a strong soul connection. You possibly have lived there, but the soul qualities from the beings that live there now, it's not fully integrated in the your early lifetime here. So this origin or alignment, you're going to have the same qualities at a later time in your life. And if you want to connect with this system or star system, the frequency there, you really have to make an effort to connect with them. And there could also be unresolved karma related to this star system. So for example, I have 3 opposites, including Orion opposite Betelgeuse, Virgo opposite Spica, and Boots opposite Arcturus. So the exact degree is Virgo opposite Spica is 23 in Aries within Mars. This is also a new origin I haven't really talked about, the Spicans, but they are also cat-eyed beings similar to the Lyrians. So I thought that was very interesting. They are also known for their angelic beings, which is also very interesting because it says I will be connected more to that angelic frequency, or the beings there, how they act, their qualities are going to come out more in my later years of my life. So I thought that was very interesting. And it says that I have unresolved karma with them. So Spica, I need to look into that. But it also says with Betelgeuse and Boots, and they're linked to reptilians. So this is all very interesting because I did research after this, which I'll tell you now. But if you look up Lyrian or Lyran, Orion hybrids, or Lyria, Orion starseeds, it talks about the war with them and the reptilians. And all 3 of my tops are those 3. So I think that's very interesting, but we'll talk more about that. So let's move on to the star system you visited. So these are not the ones that you have lived at. These are not your origins, but you've had positive soul connections there. And some of the beings that you visited may be supporting your life now, or the qualities are, but you want to look at trine and sextiles. So I had a bunch of these. I had 20 of them, which confirms my love for travel and that I've traveled a lot in the galaxy, so I visited a lot of places. The exact degrees are with Orion trine Bellatrix, Hades sextile Hatem 2, Andromeda sextile Meroc, and Andromeda trine Meroc. That is all very interesting. Those are places that I have visited. So the next one is the last one, is square. So square alignments indicate unresolved karma and or you agreed to help clearing a collective karma linked to these beings and situations from within those star systems. So you didn't live there, you visited there, you have karma there, and you have agreed to help the beings and star system there with all the collective karma. So this is very interesting. I have 6 of them, but Cetus square Tau Ceti is exact at 17 degree, but I have 2 with the Hades Hadium 2 exact at 6 degrees, and then Hades is closest with the minutes. And it's interesting since it said I visited the Hades and that they're helping support me now. So I do need to look more into the Hades and see how it all connects with everything and how I can help my agreement with them. So that is basically how you understand the general tropical western chart. I'm very interested to use my sidereal and see how it differs because I resonate a lot with this one, but I want to see what sidereal, my true higher self, true origin, my original origin, how it can relates to this. If it's totally opposite, if it's similar. So this is what I recommend doing. I won't go into much detail about what I find, just how you can plug it in, and then I'll give you my summary. So the easiest way, we've used this website before a while ago. It's you want to go to horoscopes.astro/seek.com for sidereal. So you can Google that sentence, or it's going to be linked below under your sidereal chart. So you want to fill out your info once you get there, and you want to scroll all the way down to the bottom. So skip everything you see until you see this section, your planets, positions. This will have all the info that you need and that you're going to plug into the galactic chart, including your houses, which are on the right side. That's where the houses are that you're going to need. And your AC and MC is right here. You're going to need both of those. And when it asks you the house, you want to remember this. It's the sign that it gives you. Look for that sign down there, and that is the house number related to it. So you want to plug in all that information by hand in the galactic chart. So once you do all that, you want to make sure after you type in all your numbers and houses and all of your minutes and all of that stuff, at the top, make sure your birth date and location and time are in there. And then before you hit anything, make sure both of those boxes are marked again for the trine and degrees, and make sure you hit extended chart. That way you get everything, because I would hate for something to happen where you have to plug it all in all over again. So be very careful with this part because I know it takes up a lot of time. So right away, when I look at mine, I notice it is a lot busier. There is a lot more alignments in my sidereal chart, my original higher self origin. And then the ones that appear the most after I count all the colors that match up are Lyria again, so Lyra's in there again, and Centaurus. So both of them are 7 times each. Boots, Orion, and Spica, those are appearing again for me, 6 of them each. So Centaurus is a new one that wasn't really on the other one, and maybe 1 or 2, but not this many times. So my Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune for my original origin. This one is saying my original origin, there is Orion in all 3 of them, but Spica is in 2 of them, and Boots is in 2 of them. So it's very interesting that my higher self one, it says I originally come from Orion. So my most recent for Moon, Sun, Ascendant, I have 2 for Lyria and 2 for Boots, Arcturian, but exact degree for 2 with Lyra. So this is like opposite. This is telling me my most recent one was Lyria, my original one's Orion, but the other chart is the other way around. So at least I know both of those. One of those are my home origin. One of them is most recent, but it's very interesting how they connect at the end of this video. My conjunct for strongest positive connection is Lyra, which was the same as the last one. So obviously my favorite place to live or have lived, maybe it is my original home, is Lyria. I know I keep switching the name, Lyra, Lyria, Lyran, but that's what it's saying is my favorite. So that kind of tells me maybe I am from there, you know, the felines. So my opposites for unresolved karma with positive experiences, they influence my life at a later time. Lyra is in 2 of them, among others. It's saying that Lyra is influencing my life most in this lifetime, but among others. So I had a bunch of them, but Lyra stuck out the most for that one. And then my trine, sextiles, places you visited, you haven't lived, they're helping you today. I have 25 of them. So I visited a lot in both of them. I think it was 20 in the last chart, 25 in this one. But the degrees with Spica, Boots, Hydra, Centaura, it's the Alpha Centaurus to be exact, and the Pleiades are all places that I visited. So this is why it's kind of telling me this is not where you have lived. So Spica, Boots, Hydra, Centaura, or Centaurus, and Pleiades. This is very interesting because remember the other one, this is saying my original origin had Boots and Spica in it, but the most were in Lyra. So I think I had a lot of history going on with all of them in the beginning. And Boots with the Orion War, with Hydra, the snake, and with the Pleiades. I'm going to do a video of how this all connects with the original birthing of the first starseeds, because I just discovered the Lyrians are the original beings, the original starseeds. So I'm going to talk about all this in another video because I want to know. It's just crazy how all of them are linking up like this. But lastly, square is unresolved karma. I've agreed to help them out, and I have 17. So my original soul has agreed to help, or maybe he already has helped out these star systems. Maybe I still am in debt for 17 star systems that I need to help out and fulfill my agreement. But there's Hydra, Draco is 2 of them, Boots, and Arcturus. Those are the main 4. The closest degree it came down to minutes away is Draco. So I don't know if there was beings there that needed saving from the reptilians, or I am supposed to be that positive reptilian, voice to help fix that karma collectively that the reptilians have messed up a long time ago with all the wars they have done and everything they've destroyed. Maybe I have agreed to help with that collectively, with that bad karma somehow. But it's crazy. I'll talk about that in the next video, about how we are all starseeds, how we all came to Earth to remember our true selves, and how all of this separation of why the reptilians, went negative and destroyed things was greed and ego and separation from the oneness that we all are connected from the same starseed source. So we'll talk about that in another video. But basically the comparison real quick is Lyria might be my origin, or Orion may be my origin. I need to discover that or decide that myself. One of them is maybe my most recent. So maybe I'm recently from Orion and Lyria is my home. So I want to look more into that. On unresolved karma with a lot of places, including Spica, which I want to look into them. I've agreed to help Hades, Hydra, Draco, lots of people. I need to research how I can help them, the Arcturians. But basically, I've been a lot of places, and I hope this helped clear up things with you guys. And maybe it's easier using the chart instead of watching my videos and plugging in all of the degrees and looking for them yourself. Maybe it's easier to do this and break down how to read them. But I would say take your time and compare the charts separately. Maybe use highlighters, print it out, and really see who are your favorites? Where have you not lived but visited? And then look at your origin from there. Because if you've only visited, then that would not be your origin. So you can count those out. But hopefully this helped. I had a lot of fun researching this, and I can't wait to do more research about Earth's origin, because I know that was a topic, like Earth's history, how we got here, how we started. So that's going to be coming next. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!